always just going to attack when like defending.
I think like.
People, deluded, I'm back again. It seems like Arsenal are finally getting a move on where transfers are concerned. We're hearing Zubimendi's as good as done. Kepa's to complete his move this week. And as you can see in front of me, the David Ornsteins, the Romanos, and everyone in the last few moments has announced that Arsenal are exploring a deal for Brentford's Christian Norgaard after 11 million euros bid. Now, what does that tell you initially? First things first, smash the like button. Let me know your thoughts on this signing of him as an individual, what this means for Arsenal Football Club. Before I begin reading this stuff, I just want to say my thoughts. The first thing I thought of when I saw this, obviously just before I was making this video, was Partey's gone. Like, clearly Partey's gone. Like, you never know, stranger things have happened, but this just tells me Partey's gone. I'm a hypocrite because I want depth, and I know players can play in other roles, and with the amount of games these players are playing for club and country and will face next season, you do need depth, but it's probably unrealistic to expect us to have Christian Norgaard, to have Thomas Partey, to have Declan Rice, to have Zubimendi, to have Mikel Merino. I know people don't want to hear it, but Kai Havertz can play in midfield. You know, Odegaard, Wanyeri, these kind of things. Another thing that I was drawn to is that it's win now mode. You know, we can't ask for win now mode players, and I'm not here to gas him up and stuff, but he's 31. He's not getting any younger. You know, this is as good as it gets in terms of a move to a big club for him. There's going to be a sense of urgency. Clearly Premier League experience, 31 years of age. On top of that, I would say, again, depending on how much the fee is, because I think Brentford can't be unreasonable. I don't think they're going to accept the initial bid, but it's probably not going to break the bank. And that probably gives us money to play around with and allocate our budget elsewhere, really. Simply put, I don't know our finances, but I can't see us getting a Rodrigo or whoever that is, whether they're going to cost 50 million and all the way up to 100 for that left wing spot. Striker is probably going to set us back 60, 70 odd million quid. You know, we've not cut corners, but cut costs, I should say, with a 5 million addition of Kepa, who's also Premier League experience, and we're committing over Martin Zubimendi's release clause of over 50 odd million quid. And I guess we're going to do some stuff where defensive reinforcements is concerned. If you look at the interest we've apparently had in Mark Gurhey, Joel Hatto, we didn't sign him, but Howson, and actually in January, Victor Rice. These centre backs are going to cost from 30 to 60 odd million quid. So again, that's probably just telling us we can play around with our budget. Clearly, we would need to buy a central midfielder for the long term. That probably parks off that issue, down the road. And also where that's concerned, I think the first thing you have to say, Norgaard, is say sorry to Martinelli if you do sign for us, because I remember that little foul you had in the game at the Emirates. But tough tackler, very intelligent, got good mentality. He's captained them, 31, so it's a sense of urgency, Premier League experience. The only thing is that, again, Arsenal fans, I don't think in general most Arsenal fans care about the players, in the sense that we all want stars signed for big money, players that make us sit up and go, wow. But reality is you can spend big money, you can buy lesser known entities, as long as they're competent, consistent, and confident in their abilities to individually help us to get over the line. Who cares? That being said, though, it just stinks, I guess, or a bit reeks of, this is something that we could do. Like, I wouldn't say he's got a foot out the door, but he's got 2 years left on his contract. So Brentford are going to have to renew him at some point. It seems like a transitional period at Brentford. He could leave, Visa could leave, and Buemo could leave. Thomas Frank has left. So there's obviously that. It just feels like, not that he's got 1 foot out the door, but the deal isn't too difficult. Now, what do I know? I'm just an armchair expert with no knowledge on it, but I think it's just more feasible. So that's my thought. Smash the like button and let me know yours. Arsenal have made a bid worth 11 million euros, in brackets 9.3 million pounds, for Brentford midfielder Christian Norgaard. The North London club are exploring a deal for the 31-year-old while they await Brentford's response to their offer. I'd imagine before I even get this video uploaded, that's going to get rejected. Very rarely is the first bid accepted, and naturally, if you're Brentford, you want to hold on to a bit more. Arsenal have not reached an agreement with Thomas Partey, whose contract is up June 30th. And as it stands, the Ghanaian will leave the club as a free agent next week. So again, you replace the experience that you're going to leave with a 32-year-old Partey, and you gain it with Norgaard. He's probably earning significantly less. So I guess it makes sense. Partey would be the second central midfielder to depart Arsenal this summer after Jorginho joined Flamengo. A lot of transitional periods in midfield, in which I feel with Arsenal, we're focused so much on the striker and left wing. Midfield is the hub of the team, essentially. I'm not against this at all. I'm not going to sit and act like it's amazing. Norgaard, who has 2 years remaining on his contract with Brentford, has been a key player for the West London club since arriving from Fiorentina in the summer of 2019, reuniting with head coach Thomas Frank, who coached him at Bromby and the Danish youth setup. And he's also been linked with Spurs simultaneously. Maybe Spurs and Thomas Frank want him. Maybe there's twists and turns in that. Personally, I think it's easy to link a player that's just left a manager that's just joined a new club, linking with his previous players. It's like Ruben Amorim. Obviously, Gyökeres is the one sporting player that's always linked with Man United, but I'm pretty sure a simple Google search will bring up several sporting players or players he's crossed path with. So we'll have to see. He does operate in the heart of defence. Very good tackler. He's got 192 appearances for Brentford in all comps with 13 goals. He did help them get to Premier League status in his second season. So I wouldn't be against it, really. Let me know your thoughts on that. Fabrizio Romano said, Kepa to Arsenal, here we go. Deal done for the Spanish goalkeeper to join Arsenal as new backup for David Raya. Arsenal activate 5 million clause from Chelsea and all documents are now sealed. One more addition for Arteta after Martin Zubimendi. So if you do get Kepa, Zubimendi and Norgaard through the door, again, the quicker they're through the door, the quicker they can begin life at their new club and pre-season preparations. I think it's without saying we need to be getting Gyökeres or Sesko. We do need a left winger, but if that is going to be Rodrigo, small hope, people, that one day is going to drag out, is it not, people? So we'll have to see. Arsenal prepare new attack for Gyökeres. The Londoners are still looking at the Lions goal scorer. The Londoners have left the scene for a while, but are preparing a second bid in which they will have to get closer to the 80 million euros. The Portuguese papers are milking this, but 1 minute we've bidded once, twice, 3 times, then we've not bidded, then it's been a verbal agreement, then he's threatening to go on strike, then he's changing boot sponsors, then he's removing things on Instagram, then the agent is talking, then the president of Sporting is talking. There's a lot of noise, and it seems like a game of cards and a game of chicken and a game of seeing who folds first. And the wickedest thing is, we don't actually know no one that works in the world of football. So what's being reported and what's going on in the real world of football around Gyökeres could be something completely different, people. Gyökeres to join Sporting or not, 2 tensions fuel the war behind the scenes. What is this? The source close to the player guarantees that he has informed Varandas and Palmeiro that he won't be returning on July the 6th. However, a source equally close to the process has said Gyökeres has not communicated this and Sporting remains calm and confident with this progress. So it's turning ugly. Allegedly, Liverpool have joined the race with Arsenal and Manchester United to sign Gyökeres. I mean, they won the Premier League. They've got good players. You know, it's exciting over there. I don't know and obviously Darwin Núñez is linked with Napoli. So maybe there's credible interest from Liverpool in signing a striker, and maybe they do like Gyökeres. But I just feel it's a case of latching onto other rumors and drawing other conclusions. Like when they were linked with Isaac, you're hearing Newcastle prepared to break their wage structure to keep him. If I'm a journalist, I'm thinking, okay, then Isaac to Liverpool story might be a bit dead. Let me throw Gyökeres into it, people. We'll have to see how that one there develops. The Telegraph on that as well said, Telegraph Sport understands Andrea Berta is effectively working to drive up different deals for strikers before Arsenal decide to pull the trigger and execute one of them. The 2 leading candidates are believed to be Benjamin Sesko and Victor Gyökeres. A well-connected source in Germany confidently told Telegraph Sport last month that Sesko was absolutely the preferred candidate, but the same source rolled back a few weeks ago by saying the situation had become, from his perspective, a mess. It is entirely possible that Arsenal are pursuing both deals and masking the truth about their preferred target only because they want to strengthen their negotiating position for the striker they really want, which us as armchair experts could have clocked that. They would be in a stronger position to sign Sesko at a lower price, for example, if Leipzig firmly believed that a deal was also on the table for Gyökeres. That's being reported by the Telegraph's Sam Dean, people. And we have previously heard Gyökeres as his latest attempt is to go on strike. So there's a lot of gamesmanship being played. We've gone over that already. Apparently, Martinelli is happy at Arsenal and the club expect him to stay, people. He's been linked with Bayern Munich in recent periods, people. So I have to see how that's going. Fabrizio Romano on Rodrigo said, Arsenal love Rodrigo. They consider him as a fantastic player, a dream target as a winger. Also because they feel Nico Williams is impossible to reach this summer. Rodrigo remains a strong name in the list at Arsenal for sure, which is very interesting, people. Apparently, Mohamed Kudus has switched agents. Now, that's going to add fuel to the fire of him joining any other club. But apparently, Arsenal have accredited interest in him. We've actually been linked with Jadon Sancho as well, people. I must admit, I don't believe that. We've been linked with Madueke. We've been linked with Sancho. And I think everything's on the table. You know, your Rodrigos, all of them kind of stuff. Rafael, players that, like Sancho, might have one foot out the door. And then, obviously, you look at players like Lyon, where Lyon have been relegated for financial issues, which is kind of crazy because they qualified for Europe and have been relegated. You can see where the rumors are going, and all options are moving in all directions, whether it's a household name, a game changer, a young player with the ability to get there, or a player that's down on their luck that needs a bit of love. You know, there's a section of our fan base that think Arteta can turn every damaged player into a star. You can see where the rumors are coming from in that regard. That's for another video, to be fair with you. Bacola is still being linked with a move to the Premier League, says Fabrizio Romano, despite PSG being adamant they want to keep him. There's also reports that Bacola's camp haven't given up on being able to prize him out of Paris Saint-Germain over his frustration over, you know, not getting enough football. So the rumors are starting to heat up, man.
There's always just like, when that, then
I think like